Welcome back, you adorable people. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you to all of you guys that have been supporting me from the very beginning. The channel is growing faster than it ever has before, hitting about 12,000 subscribers, and hopefully one day you guys will be able to look back and say, I remember when Dave only had 5,000 subscribers, he sold out, he's got 1 million subscribers now, and I remember back then. I'd just like to say thank you very much for you guys that have supported me from the very beginning. I do read the comments, and I do remember who keeps commenting on all my videos. I do remember you guys that have been there from the very beginning. Thank you very much. But today is a response to the video that I put up only a couple of days ago. Which country in Asia has the easiest Asian girls? I know it's a controversial topic, but I did it for a reason. I did it to start up the controversy, start up the debate, open up the discussion about this topic. And it's not just about that, and it's not just about race, it's about misogyny, it's about women's rights, it's about many different factors, and I have 8 or more different points which I'd like to get across to you guys right now. I'll be pinning this on top of that video so that everybody that searches it goes to that video, sees this video as well, because I think it's very important that you guys understand my point of view, and I have some strong views on this one. So let's get started. Number one thing that I would like to get across is that you do not own women, and you especially do not own Asian women. I grew up in a Western society. It's a feminized society. I grew up with a strong-willed mum. She has 2 sisters. I got 2 aunties. They both have daughters. I was surrounded by women. Strong women. You don't own women. So don't come onto my channel and try to do this white knight bullshit and start telling people that you own women, because if women want to sleep around, that's their prerogative. It's not yours. That gets me onto the next topic, which is yellow fever. Yellow fever and Asian fetish. I saw a video where a empowered Asian man, he's a lawyer, he refers to the Urban Dictionary. The Urban Dictionary it's full of vile words. Well, anyway, he refers to the Urban Dictionary, pulls out Asian fetish or yellow fever. It just showed insecurity on his part. You see what I mean? Also, Anna Akana, she brought out a video where she talked about yellow fever. She started this whole phenomenon. But the thing is, she was just doing it for exposure. She was just doing it for clickbait, just doing it for views, and she started this whole phenomenon. She's now dating a white guy. WONG FU Productions recently put out a video about yellow fever. Their previous video was a mistake. It was about insecurity, and one scene in their most recent yellow fever video, an Asian woman slaps this Asian guy from WONG FU Productions around, slaps him around and tells him, I have a right to do whatever I want. You don't own me. Just because I'm Asian and you're Asian doesn't mean you get to tell me what to do.
Why are the white guys taking all of our girls? So you do have yellow fever.
I'm a 3rd-generation Asian American girl who does not belong to or owe anything to your perception of racial boundaries and expectations.
And there are parts of Asia that are male-dominated and women are told what to do, but not in a Western society where I grew up. And if you look at some of the videos where I've done with my grandmother, she doesn't take shit from nobody. And she doesn't take shit from you either. So I'd like to just put that out there. You don't own women. You can't tell women what to do. Also, on the same number 1, there's yellow fever, there's Asian fetish, but when you look at the reverse, AMWF, Asian man, white female, there's no negative connotation which is associated with that, but all the negative connotation is about yellow fever and Asian fetish. In fact, the community's backlash against Asian women dating white guys is causing women to sleep around a lot more. You see, because, and also I'd like to say that the Asian women that date outside of their race, they're actually the most empowered women. You see, when your parents, when your family, when the rest of society tells you that it is forbidden for you to date a white guy, an Indian guy, someone that is not from your country or from your race, you are actually the most empowered, strong-willed woman. It's not the reverse. A lot of Asian guys call it yellow fever, Asian fetish, and they like to say that these women are actually submissive. That's why they go with white guys. In fact, it's the reverse. So you will notice that the most pretty girls, the ones that are a bit more prissy and they're a bit richer, they come from wealthy families and they're more under the thumb by the family and they're dominated by the family, they're less likely to date outside their race because the family controls them. They're the submissive ones. I just want you guys to know that is the truth. 2, I'm all about self-development. I've been making AMWF videos from the very beginning. And the reason I made these AMWF videos in the very beginning was because I have been dealing with adversity my entire life. And when you're dealing with adversity your entire life and you overcome things all the time, you see other people that are being or feel like they're undergoing some sort of adversity and you want to help them. You can identify with them. If you've been homeless, you see a homeless person, you identify with them and you're more likely to help them. So if you are complaining about this type of video or white guys dating Asian women, I think you need to work on yourself. That's the whole point of this. And that was part of the point of a lot of my previous videos, AMWF videos. You need to work on yourself. You need to improve yourself. It's like a poor person complaining that the rich guy has all the money. You can't sit there in the gutter and go, oh, the rich guy's got all the break. You need to work on yourself. It's the same as an Asian guy saying that they are being discriminated against or something's going wrong because white guys are taking all the girls. It's just not true. It's not what I see around here. It's not what I see with a lot of the videos that I make. You need to work on yourself. That's number 2. 3. Number 3. I saw a video where a Korean girl explained why white people have a bad reputation in Korea, and it is from past generations. When there was a war, the US military were based in South Korea and a lot of Asian countries, and they would find themselves a local Asian girl. And they'll only be based there for say 2 years at a time. They'd get themselves a local Asian girl, they'll date them. Sometimes the girl would become pregnant. And when their time based in this Asian country was over, they would literally just pack up and go back to America. And they'd leave this girl alone with nobody to look after her or the children. Now, this is, from my understanding, this is where a lot of the mistrust with white people came about. But there's 2 fundamental things wrong with that. It's Americans, 1, and it was happening 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. It is not fair to blame this generation for what was happening 50 years ago. It's like us saying that the Japan's about to invade us again, when the next generation is totally different from the last generation. And the same as Germany. It's like saying that Germany's still full of Nazis when they're not. They've changed. The next generation of Germans are very kind, and the next generation of Japanese are very kind in my experience as well. You can't blame this generation and generalize the entire white people because of the actions of a few American soldiers 50 years ago. It's just not right. I get where you're coming from, but for your grandparents to pass that type of hatred and mistrust down through the generations is just wrong. It's just wrong, and if you still believe that, you are wrong. 4. Okay, now this has just opened up a whole load of other topics which I think that I should do. I will now get an Asian guy, I might get Mike, my friend Mike, to go do some interviews and ask which European girls are the easiest. And we'll see how many white guys jump in the comment section and complain about it. I very much doubt they will, but I think just to be fair, we'll reverse it. And we'll do a proper experiment here. That's what I'm all about. We're all about making this fair. We'll reverse the topic. We'll also do which Asian girls are the most difficult to get. We'll also do a whole range of topics around this particular niche. I'm one of the few channels that are willing to go there because I'm all about testing, experimenting, and pushing the limits of what people are doing on YouTube. I'm all about that in a fair and mature way. 5. There is a phenomenon of Asian girls sleeping around a lot more, and it does come from their parents and their families and their communities. You see, when your family and your community are telling you not to actually date or marry the person who you might actually be attracted to, you're more likely to just sleep around on the sly, secretly, and then eventually marry or date someone who your family actually approves of. And when you come from an Asian background, a lot of the time the parents do control what their children do. It's a very you'd say traditional is a word that is thrown around, but traditional encompasses a whole load of cultural phenomenon. And unfortunately, the next generation is living in the future. They're living in the now, but their culture and their traditional parents and families are living in the past. And that is causing a lot of problems right now. Asian women are sleeping around a lot more. It is a fact. I actually found an article in the US that Asian women living in the US are carrying more STDs than any other girls. And it's not the Asian girl's fault, it's the community's fault. And if you're part of that, you are the problem. I'd just like to say. Now, where does this end? If you're going to tell them not to date outside the race, does it then go to you're not allowed to date outside of our country? You're not allowed to date someone from another Asian country. And then you're not allowed to date someone who is from a different range of dark skin to white skin Asian. We know that's a thing too. The spectrum of white skin through to dark skin as well within Asia is another factor. Is that where we just keep hammering it down and becoming even more restrictive on who you can and cannot date? Well, it's wrong. It is going against where Western society is going. You see, if I was to interview a white girl, she will openly say, I'm willing to date anybody as long as I like them. But the reverse is true if you were to go and hammer it out and really be specific and really hammer it out with an Asian girl. She is being told to restrict her dating pool and avoid other races and other people. So the white people, the Western people, are being more open and open to new cultures, new traditions, where the Asian background, the Asian community is starting to restrict them. It's not right. We're both going in two different paths. Western society is trying to be more inclusive. Asian society is trying to be more exclusive. All you have to do is search it online. Go through YouTube. You'll find it everywhere. There's Asian men trying to, they're running these channels and they're trying to manipulate women by creating this yellow fever, Asian fetish phenomenon and trying to exclude people. So, there's no 6, 7, 8. I actually accidentally incorporated it in the rest of the earlier parts of my video. Now, if you are one of those people who you feel like you're going through adversity right now, you're having some troubles in your life, I'm right now writing an ebook called 8 Powerful Laws to Build Courage in the Face of Adversity. I will be releasing that ebook as soon as possible. I'll be putting it in the top link of this video. It's not ready now, but it will be released soon. If you've been a subscriber of mine for a long time, you know that I will take you on head on in the comments. You have a problem with it and you want to be mature and enter the discussion in the comments, I will enter it with you. If you want to be a dick, I will also be a dick back. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. So, enter the comments section with me. Let's battle it out in the comments. I love that part of this. You guys can engage in the comments. Engage with me in the comments. Do me a favor there. If you found this video by typing in this topic, I hope you haven't, but if you have, click the subscribe button, click the like button for once, and no doubt, guys, I'll be seeing you guys this Friday.
Yeah, I love Asian guys.
Only because I'm Asian.
Oh, so now you don't want to be fetishized?
Isn't that something you want us to do? Or is that something you're actually doing to us?
What? No, okay, look, there's a lot of swinging going on around here. I'm a little dizzy.
Then why do you even want to date us anyways? Other than just to prove something to yourself, like I'm just a measure of your masculinity.
No, it's about being equally considered because media...
Okay, if we have the same interests, lifestyle, sense of humor, taste, then yeah, we'll talk. Like any other relationship. But if I'm just a trophy to you, then...
Okay, so this conversation can get pretty deep.
Who is Dave Lee? Two West girls in bikinis. Public opinion of the titties of people that can't speak English. Now sing this. On the train is screaming. YouTube views is scheming. Till you all believe him. Subscribers, don't you leave him. Leading questions. Would you date Muslims? Would you date Asians? Would you date Indians? In other words, are you good for it? Are you racist? Are you keen to romance? Now tune into Dave Lee. Don't live here, stop here. It's clear than your cheap vodka.